Well, Lieutenant Governor, you got to introduce the findings of the J.O.B.S report this morning. First of all, talk about what the J.O.B.S report is about.
Well, the J.O.B.S report, J.O.B.S stands for Joining Our Businesses and Our Schools. It's a commission that the legislature created last year. It is an effort to align our educational initiatives with the business needs of the future. And it's really an extension of something called the Innovative Education Act, which I sponsored when I was in the Senate back in 2003. That gave a foundation for the early college program in North Carolina. The early colleges are somewhat unique. It's a 5-year program. It takes the local school board and the community college board to come together, say we want to do a unique 5-year program. You enter in the 9th grade. In 5 years, you have a technical degree from the community college or an associate's degree. It ups the rigor, it accelerates learning because that normally takes 6 years. It saves parents money, and it ultimately should save the state money because you're cutting a year off the process. But better yet, it's preparing our students for the 21st century economy. Since 2003, we have 71 early colleges in North Carolina. That's 1/3 of the early colleges in the nation, over 10,500 students in it. It has gone very well. Everybody talks about the dropout rate today. It has gone very well. Everybody did 3 specific pilots. We continue to look at other avenues also. We'll continue our work for 2 years. We've only been up and running for 7 months. But when I went to Fort Bragg and talked to General Mulholland, he indicated that the Special Forces soldier, every one of them is versed to a degree in a foreign language. They have a language lab where they have hundreds of civilian jobs and other civilian jobs on base that depend on knowledge about global culture and foreign language. And whether you stay in the southeast region near Fayetteville, what better 21st century skill than familiarity and being versed in a foreign language? So we are talking with a concept there of a language and global studies early college, and Fayetteville State is on board. Fayetteville Tech is on board. The public schools with Cumberland County and Dr. Till are all on board. The military is supportive of this idea. They think that that will help in the long run. I think it helps us in BRAC issues in the future when the military looks at whether a base is kept or not. The fact that we have this program and have students that are in a pipeline that will have these skills. And so though Millie Ravenel with the Center for International Understanding, a true visionary, and visiting international faculty are all around the table planning that curriculum. In the northeast section of North Carolina, agri-science, agriculture is still our #1 economy in North Carolina by far. It's particularly so in the northeast. But NC State wants to help develop a STEM, science, technology, engineering, and math curriculum that will focus on agri-science and food science. We also want to link that with the Kannapolis Center out in Concord, which is amazing. It has the public and private universities, community colleges, and private business, and have that collaboration and make it a multi-county type of opportunity for our students there. And we're still working with that and working with the various counties there, but that is something I think it's very important to get up and running as soon as possible. And then the last pilot we recommended to date would be another STEM initiative. There's something called the Grand Challenges of Engineering. I think the 14 Grand Challenges. Dr. Louis Martin Vega, who is head of the engineering school at NC State, is excited about developing a curriculum for early college that will be a STEM curriculum, but they focus on these 14 grand challenges: infrastructure, energy, climate change, everything that these students will be working on way into the future. And the key to each one of these pilots is that we want to be sure that they're replicable and sustainable, and that we can build them out in areas which will need this curriculum. And so I think in the long run we've had great enthusiasm, we've got the right people involved, and I think it's the right thing to do. The response this morning from the legislators I thought was very, very positive toward this concept.
The education side of this is one major part of this, but the other thing is the partnership with the businesses. What type of mentoring programs are out there that are being used as part of this program?
Well, there are several mentoring programs today, but not anything exactly like we're talking about. Well, there are a few models. And let me give you an example, which I think is one of the better models. There is an early college here in Wake County. It's based on allied health. And Dr. Bill Atkinson at Wake Med took a great leadership role and said, we as a business want to partner with the community college. And it's a 5-year program. The 9th and 10th graders come to the hospital campus. That is their classroom. Their qualified teachers are there in the classroom teaching them every day. But the doctors at Wake Med and the nurses at Wake Med have volunteered their services to go into the classroom to lecture those students, but not only lecture, let them job shadow them through the hospital, and the teachers get the opportunity with externships to be with the doctors and nurses and get that real life experience and bring it back into the classroom. Then their last 3 years will be at Wake Tech on the community college campus. Not every one of them will be a doctor, not every one of them will be a nurse, but they may take a position in the health field. They may be a physical therapist, they may be a radiologist technician, they may go into hospital administration or medical records. But the key is that interest. A lot of discussion has been had about senior project. Well, I've said this is far beyond senior project. This is getting these students focused on a vocation or a profession for the future, and whether they really stick with that track. If it catches their interest, if it improves their ability to learn and will keep them in school, then it is a success. And that's what we've seen, that the dropout rate, not only is the dropout rate down, the high school completion rate is up, but the college completion rate is up. And so again, the model has been successful. We just want to continue to make it better.
On the business side, there's got to be a line forming of businesses that want to jump on board to be part of this because they're seeing how this system is working so far, even on this short amount of time. Right. What is the reaction from the business community like right now in North Carolina?
The reaction has been very good. To be truthful, they don't fully understand yet what we're really wanting to do and getting them engaged as much as we would like to have them engaged. But I've had many statewide organizations. The Association of Engineers in North Carolina is involved in that STEM school that I was talking about that will be anchored at NC State, as well as that Betsy Bailey and Pam Townsend have worked very hard on that. Jeff Corbett with Progress Energy has a group that was involved in energy that's also very focused on that. In fact, they were talking in an early college for energy and early college for engineering. And I said, well, why don't we synergize this and get it all involved in one and let Dr. Louis Martin Vega do his magic around the grand challenges and get something that no other state really will have that, I don't believe. And I think it'll be something unique, but not just here. We've got to build it out to all 7 economic development regions. STEM is not indigenous to any one region. Every student in North Carolina needs a solid foundation in STEM because every job in North Carolina, from auto mechanics to any of the sciences, involves STEM today.
What is the direct, or what is some of the impacts on the community college system? I mean, costs for this program as well as just enrollment, everything else?
Well, the funding, basically the funding, since it does involve the public schools and the community colleges, the average daily membership, the method of funding students in the public schools and FTE in the college, full-time equivalent, that money is used to fund these early colleges, but in addition they get a little bit of money for administrative staff that would allow a principal and some staff. The community colleges have fully embraced this program. Every community college president I've talked to is very excited about it. It does put stress on the community college system that is already under stress given this economy, and space needs are very tough. These can be located on a high school campus, and some of the legislation we have will allow a little more flexibility with assistant principals being able to be a dean of an early college and linking to the community college. But it's such a successful program, they do not want to see it go away. They want to see it enhanced. One of the interesting things about an early college is all but 13 are located on a community college campus. That is a more mature student population. Average age probably 26 to 28 years old. A lot of those students are people who left school earlier now coming back. And that more mature audience almost acts as mentors to these younger students. A lot of people were concerned and didn't know what would happen when you threw that mix together. But it's been a very positive interaction. And the more mature student gives more stability, I think, for this younger student. And over half of our students in early college are first generation college. But yet our completion rate is very, very impressive. So that stabilizing factor, and as one of the students said today in their testimony at the committee, it's a gradual transition from high school into college.